I feel like women don't have nearly enough and a breast is popped out stories for how many breastises there is in the world. You feel me? Y'all don't never got, it don't never happen. It feel like it should be happening way more than it's getting talked about. Do y'all not be talking about it? Cause y'all know that it's gonna be like 100 dudes. Hey girl, I'll catch that titty next time and fall out though. And if that's the reason, I get it. But like, I can't believe that it doesn't happen way more frequently. Like dudes don't really have dick slips. Cause if a dick is poking out, that's danger. Cause we can zip it up. And then that's a different type of pain. But I feel like if a titty pop out at Target, everybody who see it, that's their favorite part of the day. Like, we gonna talk about that when we go home. Even if you don't even like titties. Like, even if you gay, you can still appreciate breastises. I was at Target, and this girl nip slapped. Oh my God, were they nice at least? I don't know, but yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. Everybody's loving a nip slip. Like, if you a 9-year-old in that Target that day, you just gonna go home and sit on the couch and smile. Son, what you smiling about? Nothing, daddy. Life just good. You could be a dad with your wife and kids. You see a nip slip, boy, you can't wait to tell your best friend. That's how you find out who your best friend is. When you see a nip slip, the first person you call, that's the homie. Hey, dog, guess what? I was at Target, saw a titty. Yeah! But it is crazy because, like, the same situation with a dick, it's jail. If you went to Target and you saw a dick, hey, man, I was at Target today. Dog, this dude dick fell out. Yeah! Oh yeah, they beat the shit out of him, took him to jail. Yeah, but what you doing? It's just different. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy that people out there still doing crime because everybody got their phone on them. If somebody see you doing some crime, they gonna video you. Now, how you look running out to Walmart with a big screen, you trip and you fall and the big screen shatter, your pants fall down or something, you don't got one shoe on, your mask come up, you got to readjust your mask. It's all on tape, dog. And that's not cool. You looking ridiculous. Ain't nobody who ever stole a TV really needed a TV. You feel me? I'm not saying people haven't needed a TV, but if you stole the 55-inch, you could have got away with this with the 17, is all I'm trying to say. You didn't need the 55. You could have just ran up, got the 17, and just put that under the arm and just, you know what I'm saying, like just been out. But you didn't do that. You wanted the 55. But sometimes you got to shoot your shot. Even in thievery, you got to shoot your shot sometimes. People got the cameras on you, and they hoping that you mess up your shot. Because people is raggedy sometimes. Just don't do crime, you know what I'm saying? Actually, not just talking to Oakland, California. I'm also talking to like everybody. I mean, I guess do what you do you, fam. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
If you have been to prison or to jail and you are of the opinion that it ain't that bad, I'm not gonna be able to trust your opinion. Nah. Cause here's the thing. I happen to know that upon your first day, you know, in the clink, somebody gonna tell you to bend over, spread your cheeks, and they gonna look up in betwixt them things. And I feel like, nah, I don't really want that to happen. So I'm not gonna be able to trust your opinion on a whole lot, dog. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I feel like, honestly, we need to tell more people about that. Like, I feel like a lot of people would not have committed the crime if, like, right before it, we'd have just sat down and have a little discussion. Hey, man, I'm gonna need to tell you something, though. Right before we go in this bank right here, I appreciate that you here. I want to get that out. First off, I want to get that out the way. I know you ain't been locked up before, but if we do get caught, the first thing that somebody gonna do is they gonna tell you to bend over and pull your butt cheeks apart. And then another dude is gonna look up in there. Huh? Yeah. But like, why though? Do the reasons matter? Nah, bro. You know what? I don't think I'm about this life. I get that. I just want to let you know so that it wasn't like a surprise or nothing. Cause it was a surprise to me. Everybody talking about scared straight. Why don't you just tell these kids that? Just be like, hey, so I know none of y'all are scared of jail. But just on your first day, they're gonna tell you to get naked. They're gonna tell you to bend over. And then they're gonna tell you to, you know, spread your booty cheeks apart. And then another dude is gonna look all up in betwixt them. Just know that. And if I'm in that class, so that's why if you say that jail or prison ain't that bad, I can't trust your judgment, dog. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Sorry. Go sign up for my newsletter, by the way. It's in the link in my bio. When I was 16, I got ran over by a car. And yes, I said rant. I was not run over. I was rant the fuck over. Now, what is rant the fuck over, you might ask? I was under the car. So what had happened was I had to take summer school after sophomore year, or else I was going to have to repeat the grade. I didn't like high school. It was so bad that my freshman year, I missed 90 days of school. The only class I usually didn't skip was science and lunch. Always borrowed money from my homie Ming because I was broke and, he wasn't. It's my dude. Anyway, rant the fuck over. I take one class, but it was actually a fun class. I like going. Our teacher was this crazy motherfucker who just had the best story. Like, he had like piercings and shit before they were like mainstream. I remember this one time he told us this story about how he used to be one of the people on the top of the telephone lines and shit, like the repairman, and he fell. And he got caught by his harness, but his harness was attached, like wrapped around his leg. And so he just basically got stopped abruptly by his hip. And the shit dislocated, which apparently is not comfortable. And then he's going to the hospital, and he got to the hospital. Hip still dislocated, by the way. Just the whole ride, hip just out. Doctor was like, yo, I'm going to put your hip back in, but it's going to hurt real bad for a second, and then it's going to feel better. So he put the hip back in. And the dude just starts screaming even louder. Unfortunately, what happened is he caught a testy in the reconnect. And now that ball is just being crushed to dust. So I think they had to re-dislocate the hip to let the ball out. He did say that, honestly, he doesn't know exactly the procedures that happened after that because he was passed the fuck out. Like, this is just guessing. That's the most intense pain I've ever heard of. Nope. So he was like, after that, man, getting a bunch of shit in your face ain't a damn. So he was cool. I liked going. Do not remember what subject it was. Anyway, one day I'm late for class. Now, I only live like a mile and a half away from the school, so usually I just walk it or ride my bike. But I didn't have a bike anymore because I think I broke it. It was a Huffy. So sometimes I would take my mom's beach cruiser. Remember, we from Florida. And this is why I was living in Washington State. But my mom didn't like me taking a bike because I would never put it back where I found it because I was a raggedy ass child. So she had specifically told me not to take her bike. All right, I ain't gonna take your bike. So while I was riding her bike home from school, get onto Arch Street. I'm like a block and a half away from my house. But where the bike lane is on the street, there's just trees the whole way down, right in front of everybody's driveway. So you just can't, it's a blind exit on the drive. I had a Walkman and I had some raggedy ass headphones on. I was listening to Shy. The very first time I saw your brown eyes. I love Shy. I knew right then you were the one. And just out of nowhere, kablam! I get hit with an SUV out the driveway like he's leaving a crime scene. Bike gets ran over by the car. My leg gets trapped under the car in the front. Here's a visual aid. So this is my leg, this is my foot, and this is my knee where it kink up. This is the SU fuck ass V. It didn't run over me like that. It ran me over like that and then stopped and was pushing me forward. The car skidded to a stop on my leg. The guy started to get out and I was like, hey, could you get off my leg there? I may not have said it that calmly, so he had to reverse off my leg. So finally the car's off my leg and I try and stand up. It hurt. It hurt bad. I'm in a lot of pain. I'm assessing the damage. Not the damage to my leg that is surely broken or my knees that are all bloody and bruised and skinned. Not my pants, because I love those pants and they were ruined. Or not my hands that were graveled up or my face that was a little bit cut. The first thing I looked at was my mama bike because she had told me not to ride the bike. The first thing I remember saying as I'm kind of stood up, leaned against his car is, oh, look at my mama bike. She gonna kill me. The dude is freaking out. Some girl comes out of one of the houses and she's like, should I call the ambulance? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, no, mom can't find out. Just give me a moment to think. Oh, I kind of try and pick up the bike and I start to go because I'm right next to my house, right? I can't walk. So I'm like, hey, my ankle really hurt. Can you drive me home? I'm right around the corner. And he's like, I don't think I should. I think you have to go to the hospital. And I'm like, no, man, I'm fine. I'm cool. I wasn't cool. Get in his car, throw the mangled bike in the back. He drives me around the corner to my house. He's still like, yo, I think we should call somebody, bro. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. And everybody thinks I was like this because I was in shock. I wasn't in shock. I was in a shit ton of pain, believe that. But the car was on my leg for so long that it crushed all the nerves, so I couldn't feel everything that had happened. Walk in the house, bloody as shit. My brother's in the bathroom cleaning it, got the music on, got gloves on with some 409 in his hand. He like, the fuck happened to you? I got hit by a car. No, you didn't. Look at my knees. So we kind of laughing about it. He's like, man, go sit down. I'm going to get some shit. The pain starts to increase, and I start complaining about my ankle be hurting. And I was like, yo, man, you got to help me take off these shoes. My ankle is killing me. So he's trying to help me take them off, and he can't do it because it just hurts too goddamn much. So he goes and gets a knife, and he cuts off my shoes, which pissed me off because they were BKs, y'all. That's name brand. I don't get name brand that often. Anyway, he cuts off my shoe, looks at my ankle, stands up, says, don't look at it, and goes to the phone. Obviously, I looked at it, which I should not have did. So I don't know how this happened. I don't know what did it, but there is a hole about that big around all the way down to the bone in my ankle. Like you can just look in and see my bone. And there's bone chips and gravel all mixed together and blood and a little bit of skin, but it's just gone. He gets on the phone, calls my mom. My mom doesn't pick up because she's a therapist and she's in the middle of a session. So he calls the ambulance. I said what I said. Ambulance shows up. But I'm not getting in that bitch until my mom knows what's happened. So I just go take a bath because when you're poor and black, Robitussin in a bath fucking solves everything apparently. So the ambulance drivers are trying to convince me to get in the ambulance and go to the hospital, and they're trying to do some stuff, but they can't take you if you'd say I'm good. So these two dudes are just sitting at the dining room table listening to me and my brother snap on each other. My brother, oh blind ass, how your ass gonna get hit by a car? You blind too. Who got hit by the car though? I don't know, maybe it was a hate crime or something. They gotta give a fuck about you to hate you. Don't you need to take your penicillin right now? Oh, itchy dick having ass. Dogs got fleas, you know what I'm saying? They also fuck stuffed animals. You want me to cut a hole in Teddy Ruxpin for you? This went on for a while. Finally, my mom comes busting in the house in a panic. What had happened with her is that she was in the middle of a session. She had gotten a message. Her client at the time was deaf, and the translator had gone to the bathroom. So my mom gets this message and has to leave, but she doesn't know how to tell this deaf person what's happening. So this deaf person just gets... So anyway, still didn't get the ambulance. Got the back of my mom's car and we drove behind the ambulance to the hospital. Get to the hospital, I'm in the emergency room, doctor starts to look over my ankle. Unfortunately, the doctor happened to be one of my mom's clients. So he's trying to talk to my mom about his shit while I'm on the fucking gurney. My brother's poking it, talking about, does that hurt? Yeah. The doctor's like, what I should do about my wife though? And the child is still acting up. Finally, my mom's like, can you shut the fuck up and deal with my son? How about that? So end up, the ankle wasn't broken. I mean, it wasn't fractured. There were broken bones, but it was like bone chips and shit like that. But they couldn't put a cast on it or even stitch it up because there was no skin to stitch. It was just an open wound. So I would have to periodically get it cleaned out. Oh my damn. I came within about a week and a half to getting my leg amputated because they were like, if it gets gangrene, we have to take it. And it was almost that point until the doctor basically, I went in one time and she took a Q-tip, a long ass Q-tip with peroxide and some other shit on it and just scraped everything out in my ankle, like right in the wound though. When I tell y'all it's the most pain I've ever been in my entire life, I'm not even kind of exaggerating. It was did not have my leg amputated, do have permanent damage. Fuck my brother for poking my shit. Fuck the doctor for not doing his job. Sorry for the ambulance driver who had to go through that. Sorry, I don't know if y'all knew I was black and it was just a white dude in the black. I don't know what y'all thought or knew, but sorry. But I still had a good 4th of July on crutches. I just rolled out of the way once I lit the firework. Strangely enough, that story actually leads into the second time I got set on fire. So, next time.